Hello everyone, the Senpai here. So I'm going to be talking a little bit about Throne and Liberty. This is just a commentary as I show some PvP here. So this is my first PvP video that I'm going to be doing for Throne and Liberty. I'm new to Arena, I have to figure everything out, and this is my first actual PvP. Sure, I've been attacked a couple times in the open world, which, you know, they didn't kill me, especially when I'm weak and I pulled a whole bunch of mobs and they weren't able to actually kill me. It actually makes me feel pretty good. Especially when I was at 15% HP when they first try to gank and they're unable to kill you. It's nice. So about this build is not a good build. So this build, I went full evasion, dexterity, and then I went with a bit of magic burst. As you can see, I got quite a bit of mobility. I have stealth, and yeah, it's good for PvE. I can literally pull a whole area, and the mobs will miss me 80% of the time with this build, with this evasion that I have on it. And I'm not full build or anything by any means. I've only been playing since October 1st, so it's only been 12 days that I've been playing. And I still got some green gear mixed with some blue, and then I got a few pieces, 3 pieces of purple gear or 4 pieces of purple gear. So with this build, I'm testing it in PvP with the pretty much going full evasion, and it's not that good. They miss me very, very little at all. And for being full evasion, I've debated on changing it and going full crit, because I do have, so this build is crit mainly, so it's crit hit on crit. What else? Dexterity, full dexterity, and then fill in with evasion everywhere else. So it's pretty good. I get a lot of crits, and like I said, I can pull the whole area and kill with AoEs, so the lightning abilities, they will actually chain, and I have it so they don't lose any damage chaining. And with the fire on the ground, I can't remember what that skill is called, it actually weakens them, and I actually have a high weaken chance. But this build is not good for PvP. The evasion on it, as you can tell, there's pretty much no evasion. Even though, and I know how evasion works. I know you have to divide it and then with whatever they have as well. So you divide it by, I think it's 1,000, or is it 16? It's 1,000, I believe. I had figured it out earlier. And then it goes off of what they have as well, and then you normally get whatever, 16, 20, 26%. But with being full evasion, I figured, and being full dex, I would have around maybe 40, 50, 60% is what I wanted to try to get at least. But for the mobs, like I said, I could pull all a whole area, and the mobs will miss me 80% of the time or more. And for evasion and PvP, people very little miss. They will hit a lot of the time, and so evasion just is not working, and so that means I have to redo my build. I like this build with the magic and the burst that it has. For this build, this evasion's just not working. I've tried a few different builds where I went defense, and the amount of less damage for having defense and having the melee endurance and all that stuff worked way better. Sure, I'm getting hit a lot more by mobs, but in PvP, people, I'll take over 100, 110k as an assassin damage and still live in arena and still only have 2 or 3 deaths or whatever. But taking that amount of damage as an assassin in the arena is crazy. So I messed around with that build. And so also going maybe full physical damage, not having magic. So switching up my staff for something else, I think, is what I might have to do. And going poison. I've tested poison, and poison actually gives a lot more damage, but you need to get that burst with your poisons. And so I'll be trying that out. But going into arena, I didn't like it's really hard to get good PvP because there's a lot of whales. I met one whale. I went against him, and then he was on my team, and we ended up talking after. I messaged him because I was wondering about his gear. And you can check out their equipment, like their weapons, and he had full boss weapons already maxed out. He said that his 2 weapons alone were between 8 and 10k USD, American dollars. And this is the American servers here that you're going to see. And so just his weapons alone were 8 to 10k, and then his gear, he was saying, yeah, I think altogether it was around 30,000 he paid. He was saying for his gear, top of the line, full purple, boss gear that gives that extra effect and everything. And he spent 30k, and then so that, like, he was on my team at the second time. He's like, yeah, sit back here, like, I want to do this. And we literally had, he by himself had all 3 of them camped in their base. They were trying to, like, they gave up. They were waiting in their base, but then, like, there's a certain amount of time, and then so they have to come out at that time limit, or they get forced out, they'll get teleported or whatever, pushed out. And so they had to keep jumping down. He was literally soloing all 3 of them, just bursting them down within like 2 seconds, 3 seconds. It was just insane. And so, like, we just, like, 2 of us sat back and we just let him, like, spawn camp them up in that tower there that you see. It's just, and so, like, I was also facing a whole bunch. I went into a whole bunch of arenas. I think I went in like 20, and so many of them had paid to win people. Like, it was really hard to find a good game. And, like, I don't give up. I still go out there. I still try. I try to work on my combos, and, like, these are my first matches, right? So I want to try to figure things out with the PvP aspect and what works, what doesn't work. How much is my, you know, magic effect and compared to my physical, and just deciding, like, what I need to do to change to be better for the future in PvP. It's just, like, figuring what doesn't work so that I know what does work, sort of. And this build does not work for PvP. Sure, like, you're seeing some good gameplay, but out of, like, 20 games, I think 4 or 5 of them were good. 5 of them were alright, like, decent, good games, but 15 of them were just a bit demoralizing once. Well, okay, maybe a bit more than that. Like, there was probably 7 good games. 2 of them we were even, but my teammates didn't really know. I think they were also new. So they would, 2 of them would just literally be attacking the tank and just attacking the tank and not being able to kill them, rather than going for their back squishies first, and then all 3 of us ganging on their tank, where, you know, see on this video right where you're seeing right now, I'm going for their backline, I'm going for their squishies. I'll check their gear when we're up in the tower. I'll look, and it's like, okay, he has blue-green, he has blue-blue, he has purple-blue, and the other ones have purple, so, you know, they're probably not going to be as squishy, so I'm going to go for the squishy first, get us some points, and then, you know, help gank the front of the tank or whatever after I finish with the back line. But so there was actually probably 7 games, but we lost 2, I think 2 of the games that were even matched, which is good, you know, that's, at least it was even matched and we were having fun. But, like, 13 of the games had, like, whales in them, not just, like I said, one person spent 30,000. I ran into him 2 times. He was on my team once and against me, but then there was other people that he was with that I ran into like 4 times, and it was just like, yeah, they're like, we can't do any damage to them. You know, it doesn't matter who I try. Like, I'll go for their backline, I'll go for whoever, I'll try to keep the healer down, try to keep the heals off, and you can switch, so that for assassin you can actually switch and actually get rid of some of their heals. And so if they have a healer, you kind of want, especially going into arena, you want to actually do that. I don't have that set up, because as you can see, we're not facing many healers. But if we were, I could just respec, right, really quickly. And you can have 3 different skills set up. I have one for range for bosses, if it's going to be a boss that, you know, is bouncing up and down. If you know, you know, and smack you every time. I should have bought my smoke here. I'm not sure if I did. No, I didn't. And so yeah, this game's really fun. I really love the open world, and I went after the arena. I wanted to see how open world was, so I was going into a couple dungeons at night to get some kills there. Something I notice is a lot of the PvPers too will run in at night and PvP in dungeons and just try to go for the people grinding. Like a lot of 50s will go in there that are really well geared and kill a lot of the low levels just for the kills. They're focusing me here. Got to dash out, get away, get some space, go for the one that had went really close. But yeah, this build, I was debating on what to go with. I want to go like maybe warrior, something tanky, because you can get really tanky compared to the evasion. It's just, I gotta switch my gear up. I just don't know what to go with. I've seen some really good builds. Yeah, this build isn't going to work, unfortunately. For PvE, it's fine. For PvP, it's just not. I can try poison, switching my staff out, going physical. But the thing doing that too is I lose that mastery that I've been working on. I'll still keep the staff and everything. I can still use this build for farming. But I want to go with something else. Maybe I'll try poison a bit more, because I can get quite a bit more damage. But then that's more, you know, single target. But the open world is just beautiful. There's so many small things that people I don't think realize. Like I was out fishing on the ocean there in the game, and it started raining, and there was raindrops on the water, stuff like that. I was out grinding in this one temple. It started raining. The water around the edge started filling up and filled up with water from where the fountains were. Stuff like that. It's just such great detail. The artwork, I just really love the artwork. Like a lot of people say like the movement has issues in the game. I like the movement. There's some stuff that needs to be worked on. Like if I teleported, behind certain mobs and I would get stuck into walls or into the ground. You know, you see something you think you can climb and you can't. Small things like that. There's sure some stuff that they can work on, but they've been doing a really good job working on stuff. Like there's constant updates as they figure out, oh, there's a couple bugs here. Or there's like at the start of the game, like the first couple missions, I went in, talked to some little girl, and the first sentence was in a different language. Was it Korea or Japan? It was in some Asian language, I believe. And then like it switched back over to English, and I was just laughing. It's like, ooh, bilingual. that's actually pretty funny. But they still had the dialogue underneath that was in English. So that's going to be the last match there. But yeah, that's some PvP. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I want to get really geared up and actually start making PvP content and making some, you know, funny moments. But anyways, I'll see you all next time. Thanks for watching.